Reminds me of Drew Barrymore.
Okay.
Her personality.
Girl, thank you. She just said I remind her of Drew Barrymore. That is so. And I'm going to hold the mic today.
She is,
I love her. I grew up with her. We're like the same age. So it's fantastic.
Oh, see, okay, I'm not wrong.
Well, welcome to Pour Me a Story. Today, I have two of my favorite people. I have Pam and David. They own Chocolate Therapy, which is, I can't even tell you what a great store it is. I mean, I know what a great store it is because I love chocolate and found you guys kind of accidentally when I was looking for...
How did you find us?
I was trying to find some client gifts and I wanted something. I think I plugged in 2012 or 13. Yes. Unique chocolate was legit what I plugged in.
Right.
So you didn't know the guy? Did you bring him or he brought you? There was a guy who came to
Eric.
do the same. Yes.
Yeah. So there's this guy, Eric, who we worked with. And I think we were surprised that each of us found you independently.
Interesting.
So,
okay.
But yeah,
all right, that's
toast.
curious. Okay, I was just curious about that.
I'm here, toast. So my friends are drinking a little tequila and tonic, and I'm drinking. This is a half brony. I got to pick up my son later.
And I have work to do, so.
I got to start doing these at night.
Yeah, then it would be.
But you still have to get home.
Yes, that is fair. Well, you know what? Next time you guys are on, we'll do this at night, and we're going to Uber. That's what I was going to say.
There you go.
Well, 100% Uber. So.
There you go.
But thank you so much for being here. What I think is so cool about your stories is that you both were in corporate America. And I mean, you were for Starbucks, and you were in the mechanical engineering department, right? Like,
well, I was in operations. I was actually president of a company in Ohio.
Wow.
Okay, so I was commuting from Massachusetts to Ohio.
A long commute.
Every week.
Oh my God.
Monday morning, 3 a.m. Wake her up.
David, wait, you drove him to the airport?
Well, you took me
Logan
to Logan Express.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say.
I took the bus in.
I'm very glad to find here in England. That's not.
It works out well. It's good.
It's good.
No, it's not. It's not. But oh my goodness. So
so I did that for 2 years. Yeah, I did that for 2 years. So I literally was there all week. I'd come back Friday night. She'd pick me up at Logan Express. And I'd be there for the weekend. And so for 110... 52, 104
Oh
weeks.
my God. Oh my God. That sounds terrible.
My son was in...
He was in high school.
He was in high school.
Yeah, middle school, then high school, correct.
And then our daughter was in college in Michigan, University of Michigan.
That's a great school.
Yeah, it's a
great
school.
I love that.
Yeah.
Part of the Big Ten. I went to University of Illinois.
Oh, did you?
Yes, I'm like...
we're from Chicago.
So am I. So
we
Pam and I... It's so funny. And I'm actually going to Chicago this weekend.
Are you?
Just for the night.
Okay.
My sister's daughter, so my niece is graduating high school, and actually she's coming out to Emerson. So, there's so much to be excited for.
What high school? What area? It's probably one of
they're in Andersonville. I'm trying... Oh my God.
North
my sister's
side.
going to kill me.
Okay, it's north side.
I can't remember that. I've donated money to the school.
Okay, that's okay. But it is in Chicago proper.
Yeah, Chicago proper.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So my mom, my dad and my stepmom are in Wilmette.
Okay.
And then all of my cousins and their babies and everybody, they're in Highland Park, Northbrook area.
Oh my God. One of my best friends lives in Highland Park.
Isn't that right?
Deb Merdiger and her husband and her daughter now lives in Hyde Park.
Oh my God.
In Highland Park. And they own
there's
a
a
business.
Hyde Park there?
I know, we grew up there. There's a business in Highland Park called Cluckers that I am certain your family knows.
Chicken.
Yeah.
Yes, that's my best friend's business.
Oh my God. See, okay.
So much.
Is Cluckers what gave you the entrepreneur spirit? Because I wish I could say that word better as a side note. I can't. My editor's going to be like, hey, entrepreneur. I'm like, I can't.
Entrepreneurial
I haven't even had any. I have 2 sips and I can't say that word.
A very funny short story about her. I've known her, so she worked at Starbucks. We both were at Starbucks. And we didn't know that each other owned businesses because David and I owned another business back in Chicago.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not. And
wow.
Had I known what we went through already in business together,
really like each other.
I may have reconsidered this thing now. But at any rate, her and I were both store managers. And they put us in a room together on one of the conferences when we were pissed because I had my friends, she had her friends, but we became literally like freaking frack our entire careers at Starbucks, and we were promoted.
And wasn't she a smoker? Didn't she sort of do something crazy like that?
Yes. And she had to. She'd kill me when she hears it. She will be laughing.
She'd be like, no, I didn't.
But she also listened to talk radio to go to sleep.
That's like putting up white noise.
And we continued to be roommates. And I was at Starbucks at 17. She was, probably around the same time. And but the operations manager at the time, put us together because we had so many similarities. We both owned businesses before Starbucks. We both had 2 kids, a girl and a boy. And now we are lifelong friends.
Oh, I love that. And she's in Highland Park.
Yeah, she lives there, and her business. Well, they closed. They had one in Wilmette. They had one in Libertyville, but now they just have the one in Highwood.
Okay. Oh, in Highwood. Okay.
So they serve to everybody because it's Ravinia time.
Oh yeah. I went to Highland Park High School for 1 year.
Yeah.
So my story, divorced parents, all that fun stuff. My mom met a man. Actually, she met him at Canyon Ranch in Arizona.
Oh, okay. I want to go there one day.
Oh, I haven't been there. My sister swears by it. She goes by herself all the time, like a recharge, it's amazing, she says.
We need to plan that.
You don't have to twist my arm, but we'll have to bring a flask because they do not have alcohol on premise. And and I know that maybe that wouldn't be a bad.
I don't know if that's a thing to admit on air, but I do collect them. But they're so cute.
I'm gonna admit it on air, but so my mom met my stepdad, and they commuted from Boston to Chicago. She moved here. I was living in Northbrook. I wasn't quite ready, so I moved in with my dad in Highland Park. That's where he's living at the time. Then I was like, you know what? I miss my mom. And so I came out here kind of on a wing and a prayer, and then Newton, but it was kind of cool. Then I declared residency and went to U of I for in-state tuition. Wow. So it was like you could do those things back then.
Yeah.
I actually graduated from University of Illinois Chicago Circle.
Oh my!
It was Chicago Circle at the time. That was a long time ago.
I was going to say, you look young.
That was a long
That's
time
a program
ago.
I haven't heard in a while.
That was sweet of you.
Yeah.
I'm sweet.
You are.
I'm going to be distracted by your tattoos, and I know it's funny. Like we always talk about the outlines that you'll see my cheat sheet. Like I said, this is the first series I've ever done where I'm videoing myself, and I'm still working out my comfortable kinks and whatnot.
It's natural. That's what's great about this.
Right? I'm just trying to. And so I have a cheat sheet, but in our cheat sheet, like when we had a conversation, you told me that your son is a tattoo artist in New York City, and I'm like looking at your.
Talk about them.
I'm obsessed.
Our son was drawing on napkins, like as a little kid. When
That's
we were
my
out
daughter.
At dinner,
Yeah.
And he's doodling. He was always doodling,
Yeah.
and so But then back home in Chicago before we moved, he was also into music, so he played the trumpet for a while.
I'm sorry.
No, he was actually really good. He came out here though, and the program just wasn't. It
wasn't a good program.
As it was.
And that was in Gurnee.
Yeah.
That was in Gurnee.
Okay.
Yeah, that's because we lived in Gurnee for 7 years before we moved out here.
Yeah, before we left, because he had gotten a job in Wisconsin.
I couldn't convince her to be a cheesehead. Would you like to move to Wisconsin? She didn't want to be a cheesehead. So we settled on Gurnee. So I drove 50 miles one way every day. So I drove 100 miles a day.
Have really sucked
it. Yeah, but he's okay with it.
Yeah, I don't mind. You know what? Now you just throw on a podcast and you're fine.
That's right. I love to drive.
The program at that school was phenomenal. They made recordings. The band teacher's name, and I'm not lying, was Mr. Bandman.
It was. That
was his real name.
Yeah,
my sister's podiatrist was Dr. Sorto.
See?
I swear to God.
Really?
So those things happen.
Wow, that's crazy.
But he was incredible. My son, I used to call him my little Wynton Marcellus. He was really good at it. Came out here and got very whatever, but he continued to draw. And so, yes, he then... After he graduated middle school.
He won some contests in high school.
Oh, yeah.
We got his artwork and he got awards.
He got the Golden Key and all this stuff. And then he went to Mass Art and he graduated from there, but he's been drawing. And so I said, well, it's not on canvas, it's on people, but it's okay. I do vision.
That's a canvas.
I do. I vision for him one day. Because he's doing a mural for his godfather out in California.
Oh my God.
But I do vision for him of someone with a wine label or a beer can, something unique and crazy, because he is very talented.
I was going to say, my sister, from her neck to her toes, is completely covered. I'll show you some pictures after.
Okay. Yeah.
So, and she's also, an attorney. She's a partner. She's a badass in her own right.
Right. Okay.
But people don't care anymore. It's different.
Right.
It's not there used to be a time I don't have any. I don't heal very well, and I don't love needles. So that's been but I'm trying to get one. I want to. I want a piece of cake wearing what headphones.
Oh, really?
That's like legit. Like, and I want my daughter to dress. Well, Molly's like the same thing. And actually, one of my friends said, she could be a great tattoo artist. Right.
Well, something to think about. What our son does, he does thin needle.
I can totally tell.
Okay, fine line, and there's not really a lot of damage to the skin. Okay, and it's not because the other ones. I mean, he's got some where they, it's like raised on your skin. Yeah. These are not. These just kind of blend in, and it's not that painful. Cool. I mean, was yours?
No, it's not painful. It's like someone's doing a deep scratch.
Okay.
Because I don't do pain. Yeah. But it wasn't bad.
Yeah.
He has to do a little touch up on it because, there's certain parts of your body that are more tender.
Yes. Oh, yes.
So this one here didn't feel bad at all, and that one he had to touch up because it was.
There's the numbing gel too. So
yes, they do have a spray and they have all that.
Her chest, and it's like right on her bone.
Right.
And she's like, "Oh my fucking god!" Like that one really hurt.
Yeah.
That one really hurt.
Yeah.
She's my sister in Chicago. I mean,
That's
if
hysterical.
She goes to New York, I think she's in DC right now.
He's in New York, so he's
she's there all the time.
Where's his? He works for a company called Blind Reasons. They're in Soho, and he lives in Brooklyn.
Fantastic!
Yeah,
but he is.
Yeah.
Good for you for supporting the arts.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Because I feel like that wasn't always a popular decision. And maybe that could have just been my parents. I mean, I went to culinary school, but first my mom was very pushy about me getting a 4-year.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, whereas I look at my daughter, and we were talking before this, she's harder on herself than I ever was. Mm-hmm. And she's also an artist. Mm-hmm. And she got a 90 on her physics test. I'm like, oh, yeah, you're amazing. Whose child are you? It's not from me.
Yeah. Our daughter has a degree in musical theater.
Wow.
So it's all about art.
I love that. And you guys are artists. I mean, wait, I just want to show this. So we'll get into talking about business. But Chocolate Therapy just launched right around Memorial Day, right? In time for Memorial Day?
Yeah,
the Backyard Barbecue Truffle Collection. I need to show this direct to the camera. Maybe I'm doing it wrong, but I don't give a shit. Yeah. But this, I'm so obsessed.
In collaboration with AC Barbecue.
Oh my God, AC Barbecue, and that's Cedric the Entertainer.
Cedric the Entertainer and Anthony Anderson are the owners of AC Barbecue.
Okay, and so
really good.
That is a dark chocolate with barbecue. So tell me about the flavors, because I'm obsessed, and I had a bet with my daughter. We were kind of hoping you were going to bring some, but if not, I was going to go stock your store and fill up. I'm obsessed with corn and barbecue and watermelon. And what's
It's funny, the cookout. It's so sweet potato.
Sweet potato. Oh.
So that would be the dessert. And it's so funny. They just signed a deal. They're doing a lot of barbecue stuff, but it's so funny that one of the commercials is like, you're at the barbecue and you so full, but no one has anything really sweet. You had watermelon or whatever, but so
that's
this
a real
is
dessert.
Like
I love watermelon,
cookout.
not real dessert.
Yeah, we had a cookout. It's like bring it to your cookout. You're gonna have chocolate, but so there's a dark chocolate spicy truffle with their all day barbecue sauce.
Ooh,
and so it's got a little smoke to it, a little spicy note, but it's very.
I'm gonna hold this up.
And the thing is, it works. I mean, it really does work. It does. I mean. It might
I can see that though. Mm-hmm. I mean, think about mole, right?
Yes. Correct, same thing.
Correct.
And then our chocolatier was really big on corn, and I was like, we'll see, but
corn.
It's divine. It's white chocolate. It's like it's like a creamy sweet corn.
Yeah, my mouth.
Which is hysterical because it's Cedric. I hear it's Cedric's favorite.
Oh. Wait,
corn.
It's his barbecue company.
But he likes the corn.
At least he's being honest.
That, yeah.
That's actually really cool.
Yeah. And then the sweet potato, we use their, they call it MVP rub. So it's a rub that they, you put on your meats or your whatever when you're grilling. So that's with sweet potato in a dark shell.
Oh, yum.
And then the last one is, of course, watermelon. So it's a dark shell, but it's a watermelon fruit puree.
So exciting.
It's a really wonderful box that is perfect for cookout, great for Father's Day.
But it's also something to bring to people because I feel like, and like you said,
unique. It is a very unique gift.
It comes back to how I met you.
Right,
I swear. And you have to understand that, like, I might be a fake pastry chef. I mean, I went through the program. But I think halfway through, I could just realize I wanted to eat it, not make it, which is fine. So I'm close to food. I mean, my last life event planning. But I worked with somebody in California when I was in school. He was the most amazing chocolatier at a restaurant, like a 5-star. It was called the Cypress Club in San Francisco. He was self-taught, but his chocolate work was exquisite. His pastries were exquisite, but in particular, his chocolate work. And I know how to make truffles, but not like that. And what I was drawn to, I mean, this is absolutely incredible. But on the flip side, all your flavors are. I mean, how do you dream them up? And like, I mean, I know you've done other interviews, but like, where did this even come from? Did you know
we were very fortunate. Our first chocolatier was very creative, and she created a lot of these, unique flavors that we have to this day. And so we threw in ours, like I was a pistachio guy from a heart health standpoint, dark chocolate pistachio.
I love pomegranate, so I threw that in.
Yeah.
But
we've
had the flavors, so we have some of our, I call them staples that we've had forever.
Yeah.
And we worked with her on, like, remember we were sitting at the table, though, in the kitchen, and we just threw out flavors. Now, yes, we then took them and had her, and that's what we do now. Our chocolatier, I came up with sweet potato, and then he creates it.
That is so cool.
He went to CIA.
Oh, high
pastry.
Yep.
But
in Greystone and Napa, or the one in New York?
In New York.
Oh,
I said New York, but as he always says, it was pastry and design.
Yep.
But they take a very intense course on chocolate.
Oh, they do.
And that's why he is able to.
He's wonderful. I met him when I came in your store a few weeks ago.
So we decorate. David runs them. Rick puts the ganache together, and so it's we're like we're a good team.
That is how. I mean, and then like I said, I know you've given other interviews, but this is like, to me, like more intimate. We have cocktails. Also, I think you're going to dedicate a Negroni dark chocolate to me.
Work on that.
Why don't you tell?
Is Negroni a summer, fall, or what kind of?
Technically, I would say it's more of a fall, but it's year-round for me. Okay. It's equal parts vermouth, gin, and Campari. Okay. So you got the bitters.
We've done some. I mean, we did tequila. God. We did a tequila flight for the sexiest man on earth.
What was his name?
Which one?
It was a straw
tequila.
He was the guy that did the not the sexiest man, but the most famous. He did the beer commercial. But anyway, he started his own tequila company in Vermont, and so he had us do a tequila flight with his tequila. That was 10 years ago? About 10 years ago. Yeah.
We've done so many.
So we do a lot of alcohol. We do a lot of things with alcohol.
Cheese,
I love it.
We've done tequila.
I had your bourbon one the other day.
Yep.
Yeah,
that was
the Jack.
It's actually whiskey.
Whiskey. Okay.
1884 whiskey.
Yum.
Yeah.
That was so, and it was perfect. And I'm not just saying it because you're here. I would honestly, I'm kind of honest. I don't know how to not be honest,
but no. Thank you.
No, it's and like I said, like I'm a fraud in that I don't do pastry anymore, and I might have represented myself differently to my husband when we met, but it's more like I love good flavors,
right.
And like, so whether it's a Negroni, I mean, and you can also do an Aperol Spritz, which I feel like is a redheaded stepsister. Okay. So, and that's just it's like soda water, Prosecco, and Aperol, which is so fun too.
Alcohol goes very well with chocolate.
I agree.
The whiskey one that you tried with the liquid caramel, goes well together. Everything we do when these truffles are being designed and created have to pass a taste test. Okay, and what we try to do is create an experience, and we talk about the experience. Mm-hmm. Most people don't get to this level of dissecting the overall experience. But there's a certain melt rate that happens. I mean, I'm an engineer. Yeah. So, when you put it in your mouth, the heat should melt the chocolate. And then you go through the shell first, and then you get to the ganache. Typically, there's a chocolate remnants in your mouth when the ganache hits. Oh. And then you go through the ganache. It's an experience. Yes. And that's how we evaluate it. How is the experience? We don't go by the taste. Eating chocolate should be an experience.
And in a nutshell, what it says it is what you should taste.
I 100% agree with you.
It's like, how they say, oh, this is a, orange marmalade or whatever. And then you taste it and you're like,
I'm not getting
that, right?
Yeah. One thing I did notice, when we first started out, I went to a Cambridge Culinary School to learn about chocolate. We knew nothing about chocolate. Nothing. Zero experience.
This is where I'm like obsessed that you did this.
Yeah. So I had to go there to understand chocolate. I also had to learn how to make chocolate. And then I had to
chocolate.
evaluate.
Which is very challenging.
Yep, and I had to evaluate if it was manufacturable. I've got a manufacturing background, okay? And I tell people, my last assignment when I was commuting, we made transmission gears, or at least the gear blanks. So it's a big forging operation, machining operation, but I made stuff. Making the truffle is the same thing. Yeah. You take raw material, put it through a process, you get final product. Identical. So I had to learn how to make chocolate. And I had to understand if in fact it was manufacturable and can you make money at doing it. Yeah. So the tempering was a big pain in the butt. It's like, well, I'm not standing over a double boiler and a stove, but I found out that there was equipment
to temper chocolate. And for people who don't know what tempering chocolate is.
Yeah, tempering chocolate is when you modify the consistency so that it becomes brittle.
Correct.
Okay.
Not that I was testing it, but yes, you're bringing me back. Yes.
Yeah. And so it's a process where you heat it to a high temperature and then you bring it down.
But not too high, right? Because it can curdle, right?
That is correct.
Or you can burn it. I remember.
You can burn it.
It shouldn't be warmer than your lip, right? Like we're at 98.6.
Well, so the way it works is that we
told you I'm
we bring it up to 118 degrees.
Oh, okay.
And then we bring it down to 84 degrees. And then we take it back up, and the operating temperature is around 90 degrees.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So there's a thing, and dark chocolate has a different different temperature than milk.
White chocolate isn't chocolate.
Yeah. So there's no chocolate in white chocolate.
So I basically. When I understood tempering, it's like, okay, so that's the key to making chocolate is tempering. That's the most challenging part of it.
And also making it look shiny and taste good.
It has a shine.
It's a process.
It is. It really is a process. It really is a process.
They don't understand what goes into it. You got to make sure your molds are cleaned and sparkling, and your chocolate is tempered. Because if it's not, then there's blooming. Then it's like so many little things, and your temperature. Also
know when it's not good chocolate. Like, I remember in my cakes class, it was my very first class in culinary school, and couverture, and the guy looked like Super Mario Brothers, the chef. And I just did this like with my fake mustache, because I felt like he would not even know it. But he was like, couverture. Yes. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yes.
I mean, as a side note, I used to have dreams about him popping out of wedding cakes, which is a whole, not a dirty way, just like a what just happened kind of way.
Listen, the barbecue sauce came out of my dream. I dream about
and then
all the time.
How'd you partner? So I have a million questions in that notebook that see if I can't look at it.
So we were on Oprah's Favorite Things.
Yes, well, and that
December.
And I need to know how that happened. And Gail. So thinking about what we got to circle back on. Right. Well, they're friends, so maybe that was the connection.
Nope. But AC Barbecue was on Oprah's Favorite Things as well. So they had their sauces.
2024 also.
Yes.
Okay, so same.
Yeah. And so... it is what it is. When you see black-owned, women-owned, or whatever, you kind of reach out, and they reached out and said, "Hey, do you want to do some sort of collaboration on Instagram?" Ooh. And so we did, it
was cross-promoting, basically.
That's cool. I love that.
Their base and our base, and to promote each other's product.
I love that, and that's so important because.
You have to, and especially as a small business. Yes. It's not like
because you're making chocolate, doing the social media is a whole. Like I said,
it's a whole thing, and you have to have it.
And it's so hard, and it's like if I could just do this in a vacuum. Yes, you need a whole person. Yeah,
and we don't.
No, same. So, I know.
So we did the collaboration. So then, and I had never even heard of them, but I was looking at all the products, obviously, because we were, in the magazine. I'm like, oh my God, there's barbecue sauce. There were chips. There was pound cake.
Oh, yeah, I saw the pound cake.
Yeah, right?
Can you collaborate with them?
So we did the collaboration, and then I'm like, I wonder if I could do, what could we do with them?
Yeah.
And that's how, my brain goes. So literally, I woke up the next morning, and I came into the shop, and I'm like, Rick, we need to make a barbecue truffle. I said, because I thought of mole, and I just, like you said, dark chocolate goes with a lot of different things. And 100%. So that is how it came to be. And so then I emailed the guy that I've been dealing with, and I'm like, hey, if we created, this truffle or this collection, would you guys be game? He went back to Anthony and Cedric, and I'm like, oh, we would love that. So then we created the whole box.
I love that.
And then sent samples to them. Mm-hmm. And they loved it.
Well, what's not to love? I'm not even Oh my God.
It's not for everybody, though.
No, and listen, my daughter, I told you, my daughter was like, barbecue. Yeah. I'm like, girl, you don't know. You're 14.
We've changed many minds.
Well, and that's the thing. So there's the savory and the salty. I mean, who would have thought salted caramel was a thing in the 80s?
Right.
Remember when we ate Hershey's?
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I still like a good Hershey bar every now and again. I know
Please,
for a
we're not even going to go down that road. He still likes Snickers.
Frozen Snickers. Gourmet frozen Snickers.
Yes.
Okay.
Break your
There's
teeth.
nothing. Oh my God, they crack. See, that's brittle. It's brittle.
Brittle.
It is.
You know, it's funny. In culinary school, I really thought I wanted to make wedding cakes. You know what I would still crave? Even though I was only going to make wedding cakes, and I had the best at my fingertips. I went to California Culinary Academy.
Okay.
Fucking Hostess cupcakes.
Really?
And they're so bad. I can taste all the badness.
Yeah, all the artificial
I love them, though.
shelf stabilizers.
Same.
Like, I grew up on, I loved eating Kit Kats.
Oh, Dylan loved
But see, now, I don't do any of that. I haven't really done any commercial.
Also, why would you? Because, like, when I taste your chocolate, like, I'm not... I don't crave the crap. Like, oh, Chicago. See, she drinking a half Grony and Chicago just slipped out. But it is, I am telling you, it is, I feel like chocolate is so versatile. And like you said, the mole, it can go with anything. Why not try barbecue sauce?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And sweet potato, like I could see that. And like the consistency, like what's the consistency in the center of that one?
It is real sweet potato.
Okay.
They're baked and then they're blended with white chocolate and all the spices. So in this particular one, it's just got that little hint of smoke.
You actually created that one for Thanksgiving.
I did.
And the demand was so strong. Our dentist, was very upset when he came to when we stopped because it was just seasonal. I mean, she's from Starbucks and seasonal.
So they had that season, you know.
Yes. Oh my God, the pumpkin PSL.
Yes.
Yes. Oh, I was.
So I'm like, that's what I'm going to do with the truffles, and people were like, oh no.
So we carry it year round now, and you wouldn't think.
No.
You wouldn't think sweet potato and chocolate go together, but when you it's a wonderful experience.
It's a wonderful
I
experience.
mean, it goes together extremely well. It's very, very good.
Also because I was so over pumpkin.
Yes, and I love pumpkin. Don't get me wrong.
He loves pumpkin. I grew up. Now I did.
David and I need to eat together. That's what it is.
I grew up eating sweet potato
pumpkin
pies.
pie.
Sweet potato pies. My grandmother. You know, all the aunts, all the
Midwest.
cookouts.
I mean, that's also like
sweet
you're like
potato pie.
100%.
And everyone's like, "Oh, do you have anything pumpkin?" I'm like, "No,
no."
But you could try
Screw the
sweet
pumpkin.
Potato. Right? I was like, "Oh, pumpkin." And then at Starbucks, pumpkin spice latte.
And the loaves.
The loaf, pumpkin loaf. So it
muffins.
Was
I'm like, wait. I'm like, hold on. I remember.
You remember that? Yes. Yeah, so you're remembering the pastries, and I'm like, yeah.
Yes, and that's the thing, and so you could have done coffee. Like, yes. You knew the manufacturing, you knew the business, you also knew the business. You're going to Cambridge Culinary to like go see how shit works. So was coffee ever on your radar after Starbucks?
So wait.
So she doesn't know.
She doesn't know. We didn't get a chance to tell you.
Remember I mentioned that little business before? It was a freaking coffee shop. Okay.
Sorry, that makes me laugh.
We roasted our own coffee. We roasted our own beans.
Where?
In Hyde Park.
Harper Court.
In Hyde Park.
In Hyde Park.
Shit.
Yeah. I actually, you know what, I find them, I have pictures from us. We look.
Yes.
I remember putting some stuff on Facebook and someone responded, "Thank you for sharing these vintage photos." And I really wanted to like slap them.
Vintage who, bitch?
I know.
So I don't want to date us, but we can't really get around this.
You guys look great. Date yourselves.
But so let me just let's tell us our life. Okay, so this is what happened. We got married in
39
May.
years ago.
Yeah, 39 years ago.
I remember the coffee after you said it. I'm like, I swear I did research, but I'm trying not to look at it.
We got married in May. We opened up Cafe Coffee in September.
Oh my God.
August. Okay. August.
Yes.
And then we had our firstborn in November. So in a 6-month time frame, we got married, opened a business, and had a baby.
Now,
and did you buy a house too?
She was premature.
She was premature.
6 weeks, but still, it would have been at the end of
I was
probably
going to
the
say,
same
still,
year.
same,
Yeah.
Oh my, how'd you survive?
We did.
I mean, I say as a parent too, you're like, you know what, we figure it out. But like in a business,
out, whatever's thrown at you, you figure it out.
Yeah, because you don't have a choice.
She quit her job to run the coffee operation, and then I continued to work. So I would get up in the morning and go to the store.
To California.
Well, kind of the same thing, but I would get up early in the morning. We have summertime, we had outdoor tables. I go get all the tables set up. Then I go into work.
I had the baby too.
And she was watching the baby, and then I'd come home after work and take the tables down.
I almost had her in
Oh my God.
the shop.
Yeah,
Is
you
she
did.
your firstborn? Okay.
I almost had her there. And I remember, though, when I went to labor, my uncle, because it was really a family affair.
It was a family. My mom worked there.
My auntie worked there.
Your favorite.
My uncle, everybody worked there. And so there was one afternoon, I was like, I'm not feeling so great. And my uncle had to drive me to the hospital, and he hadn't driven a stick shift in so long, and that's why I really think I delivered, because he jerked me all the way.
Oh my God.
All the way to the hospital, and they hooked me up, and they're like,
girl, this is happening.
No, it wasn't even that.
It's like we lost we lost the heart rate.
Oh,
they lost. Yes,
they knocked her out.
They were like, okay, we don't have a heart rate.
So scary.
We're gonna go in, and then the thing went over me, and I don't remember anything but waking up, and she was 4 pounds.
Yeah, she was premature. Yeah, she was
4 pounds, something like that. Yeah.
And she was good. Like, was she in ICU?
Yep.
For a couple weeks.
Okay. Okay.
A couple of weeks.
She was in ICU. Yeah, she was in there. Yeah, when I first saw her, she was in a little container hooked up with tubes.
Yeah.
I mean, that was it. Couldn't pick her up. Couldn't do any of that.
No,
but got past all that. She's fine. I mean, it turned out.
And I mean, oh my goodness,
it was kind of wild. And then, so funny, 7 years later, and so she had wrapped the cord around her neck.
Oh, baby.
But 7 years later, our son did the same thing.
Yeah.
We didn't have the emergency C-section. We were there and all ready to do it, because I wanted so bad. But I had 2 C-sections and it was the same doctor. She's like, okay, I hate to tell you this. We're going to do it now. You got to do it this way. Yep. And I think he's got the cord. I can see it. I'm like, oh my God. So they were busy.
And I took a peek.
Okay. You looked over the curtain?
I did.
David.
I did. And I mean,
fell out.
No. But you see it, it's like you develop mad props for women.
Because all of
their shit have to go through. Well, I mean, the whole stomach was like, it was laying to the side.
Right?
I mean,
it's so funny because Kristen, my husband, did the same thing, and I'm hooked up, like Jesus on the cross, and they were worried I was going to bleed out because I had placenta previa, and so that was a nightmare. So all of a sudden,
things we go through.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
right.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Chris, I look at him. There's a picture. Dylan finally comes out. And Chris looks happy, but not super happy. I'm like, what's up? And then they're fitting me for a third IV. I had one in each arm. And I hear them be like, we need A positive stat, da, da, da. And Chris, so in that moment, thankfully, I didn't end up needing a transfusion.
Okay.
It still wasn't clear a couple days later, but Chris says, that picture, which I can show you later, he's like, I thought I was going to be a single dad of 2.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Wow,
he
yeah.
over the curtain.
Okay.
Wow. But just stuff like that. And as far as the vaginal birth, honestly, I was more afraid of pooping on the table than anything. That I'm not proud of that, but I'm a very loud person. But to me, that felt horrifying that I would do that in public. Yeah, I mean, of all the things I've done in public, that is not one of them.
That's not something you want to brag about.
No,
I get it.
No, and I'm sure I did, and they lied to me.
It's okay.
I'm sure I did, but I understand. But wait, so 2 kids, a coffee business. How long were you in the coffee business?
8 years.
8 years.
And so I always like to tell. So this is, and that the reason the time frame, but this was in 1986.
Okay.
That we opened up. Starbucks came in
90.
Was it when it was it?
We opened in 86. They came. It was like 88,
89.
89 in
but anyway,
okay.
We grew to 2 stores. Starbucks did a little bit better than that.
What? Rude.
But also, they probably were a reason that put us out of business. However,
it was,
yeah. However, they came and recruited her.
I mean, if you
want
they knew her. The same operations guy that hooked up my Highland Park bestie had been coming into the store, but I didn't know them because they
were just doing their
yes,
correct.
They were doing their market research.
Exactly, because they were going to open up half a block from us. And they were able to get the high traffic corner spot.
People were coming into our little shops saying, do you have Americanos? I'm like, what the hell is an Americano? I didn't know what that was. But yeah, but the guy, to this day, Jim Morgan, he was the operations manager. And so finally, when he kind of saw the writing on the wall, he asked if I wanted to come in and have an interview.
So it worked out well. I mean,
I was going to say,
17 years.
It worked out well. It worked out very well. Yeah.
I got to tell you, I first really discovered Starbucks because they weren't on my campus. I was in San Francisco in '99.
Okay.
And I was like in the Mecca.
Yeah. Right, exactly. Yeah, on the West, especially on the West Coast.
Yeah,
on the West Coast.
Like that, yeah. They were first to test Frappuccino.
Yes.
That was created by partners. I mean, all the tests go to California.
Yes, and I was literally up the street. My school moved since I'd been there, but it was at I think it was an Opera building. I lived near Opera, the Opera Plaza or the Opera House. And it was, we lived on coffee. The shitty coffee we had in culinary school, but also every now and again we were like, I can't afford it, but here's my $6 vanilla double triple latte.
Exactly.
You know?
I know. And I still drink it to this day.
Oh my God. That's what's in Chris and I like really good coffee, really good chocolate.
I retired, so I still have my partner numbers. I still have a discount. I'm so glad they didn't
oh my
whatever,
God, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's one of the best things.
I was going to say, honestly,
Don't you get a free pound?
£3 a week that I don't even keep up with.
Yeah.
Yes, you have friends who would keep up with their pound. I should get it at Costco.
That.
I'll be honest. I get the 2.5 pound bag at Costco.
I know, but I get £1 a week.
Really?
And 30% off.
Wow.
And it's non-licensed, a traditional company. Company operated is the term. Store.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So coffee.
But it was a great career for me. I met some of the most amazing people in my life that I'm still close with today. One of them being Deb. Yeah.
Well, and that is one of the things. And then you two, how did you two meet?
30.
You've been married 39 years. How long have you known each other?
45 about.
Were you
1980.
7?
Well, no, 1980. 1980.
Wow.
Then we just, had a little break there.
Listen, I had a break too. My husband still likes to remind me of it. Did you do it?
Yeah, we got a break.
We don't have to get into that.
Yeah, we're not going down that path. But no, just out at clubs. Yeah. That's as much as we're gonna do with that.
Listen, I'm picking up what you're putting down.
We had social circles that interacted quite frequently, and at a social event, we kind of met each other.
Two of our friends claimed to be the reason. They got
had nothing to do with attraction or
we're responsible. I'm like, okay, y'all can have that.
Yeah. Whatever, take it.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
for a long time.
Listen, no shame. I met Chris at a bar.
45 years. Yeah, so that's
the way you're supposed to.
Yeah, exactly.
A long time.
Let's go back to chocolate. Okay, so chocolate therapy. How'd you come up with a name?
Well, again, that time when I remember we were sitting. Where were we sitting? We weren't already. No, we were in our kitchen.
No. I think what happened, as I think back on it, we had when we were just learning the business. Okay, there was a book called The Chocolate Therapist.
Ooh.
No, we hadn't gotten there yet.
Yeah, because I think chocolate therapist, and I think then you said, "Hey, chocolate therapy."
Sorry, sir.
Okay.
Incorrect.
Okay.
All right, I'll mediate.
Only
Pamela, you can speak on
because we were still coming up with flavors, and we hadn't, like he would say pistachio, and I'm like, okay, and we were listing things, olive oil, like she came up with olive oil, but there were things that we were listing, and we didn't, I hadn't done any of that research or anything yet, and I remember saying out loud, this sounds therapeutic, because I didn't know about her yet.
No, we knew that before we decided. Remember, we went with Joe down to New York. That's where we bought the book for his show. We hadn't done anything. We didn't have a spot or
somewhere
anything.
in the middle.
Yeah,
I love it.
I'm
love
not
it.
going for it because I just all I remember is blurring that out.
She did create the name. Okay, so she created the name.
And my brain, because literally we were talking about all these things, and I'm like, it sounds therapeutic.
Yes.
I remember what I said, and then I'm like, this is chocolate therapy, and then he was like,
I think that's
it is, yeah, because I can't even remember all the things, but we had pomegranate, we had pistachio, I don't know if we had the
I can
olive
look.
oil.
You know what? I think I put down the original fit. Hold on, let me look at my trusty notebook.
Because we had so
We had
many.
pomegranate, we had pistachio, we had plain chocolate, we had a wonderful sea salt caramel. We had the fix.
Some of the,
How can we
yeah, I was going to say London Fog, The Cure. Oh my God, I remember
The Cure.
Heavenly Hazelnut,
So we
chocolate
talked about
fix,
cayenne. Yeah, chocolate
pistachio.
Those are some of the original. The OGs.
One I don't know how to say. Vitamin C. Oh, I loved the vitamin C one. What?
Aristaeus.
Thank you.
That's
That's the olive oil.
And so just to create,
That's so good.
and so just so you know, Aristaeus was the Greek god of harvest.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I
And
did
so
not know
that's
that.
how that name came about. Because one of the things she was responsible for was olive trees. Okay, so that's... I
like
Who
it.
named that?
No,
The
Clarissa.
first
Clarissa.
chocolate.
No, but
They
I
named it.
seriously, and what like I said, like when I first walked in your store and saw, like, I just thought it was clever, you know, like very, like, it was clever what you were doing, and also to be able to have these clever names and then nail the flavor, and like you said, the mouthfeel,
Correct.
what you're supposed, like, you know, when a chef plates,
It needs to be a good experience.
exactly, and usually, if it's a good restaurant and a chef plates, everything on the plate's supposed to go together. You're
Right.
supposed to marry
Yes.
the bites.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep,
And
yep,
so with your chocolate,
Yes.
everything's married.
That is true.
And you guys are still married. I mean, side note, that's very
that's
impressive. A couple of
impressive.
businesses late. Pam's like, let me finish that tequila.
Yeah.
But, well, okay, then how's that been? As far as,
It's challenging.
because I mean, listen, I don't work with Chris, but I mean, we both work from home, and that's challenging.
If you ever saw the GMA segment, I'm telling you, I think I became famous at that point.
Oh, I watched all your segments. I love
I
it.
remember saying on air live to the world, if you don't have to work with your spouse, ever don't.
Were you? Was that when you were there? Like you were at their?
We were sitting at the table
Okay,
with her.
the
No,
table.
she was in our store.
She was at our store.
Yes.
But she laughed for a good few minutes. But I'm telling you, we had
And you gave her
people-
the apron, right? That
Yeah.
was okay. So I was like, I watched.
I'm telling you, I had customers like would order online, and they would. We heard that comment. We got you, or
We know.
there's no way I could never work on my. That went on for a good year.
It did.
People
It
commenting
absolutely
on that.
did.
But you
It
guys,
absolutely
I
did.
mean, it's so hard. But it's like, but you're best friends, right?
Marriage is hard.
Marriage is
Marriage is hard.
I
Marriage is very challenging.
and you got to keep on working at it like it's a small
every
business,
single day.
You know, and I know.
Every single day.
Do we need to
Okay.
talk about it?
Let's take a break. Sometimes in the middle, you know, like all the time.
Girl, I will go to bed mad. I don't. Who the fuck said I won't go to bed mad? You know what happens when we keep fighting and it's late? The worst shit comes out of my mouth and his. So it's like if you sleep on it and say, let's continue this tomorrow when we're fresh.
I had to
who
learn
says
that. I had to learn that later.
I mean,
'cause
what
that
is in
wasn't
case someone
coming.
dies in their sleep? Is that where?
That's
right?
where
Was
that
that
came from.
That was the thing. Yeah,
That
yeah,
was the whole premise.
You know what?
for
And
it.
then if that were to happen, it's like,
Exactly.
you knew I was right.
That's right.
Like,
it's like,
That's
you
absolutely
know,
correct.
and that's the thing. It's like you both have your own thing, and it's like sometimes it goes and sometimes it doesn't.
And you went through some of the hardest things. So I feel like I supported Chris. Chris went on his own in 2008 for his first business. Remember 2008? That was a real shit year. I got furloughed.
Yeah, that was the
Yes, well, yeah, but that one.
that was bad. No, that
housing
was the
market.
whole
Yeah.
the economy
Yeah.
collapsed.
Yes. And
Yes,
I got
right.
furloughed from my
Like
job.
thinking,
We
yeah.
didn't have Molly yet. And Chris is like, that year, that January, he had gone out on his own. And so, you know, navigating that
How long
together.
have you been married? Sorry.
20.
Okay.
20 years. And I met him in 2000.
Okay.
So we got married in 2004.
All right.
So we've definitely had our ups and downs with certain things, but you've done businesses and kids. So like for me,
Two businesses.
well, that's what I mean. So two businesses, two kids, right?
Yeah.
Two,
Yeah.
right?
Two kids, yeah,
So, and there's certain things like you can see each other. You've been together long enough where you see each other through pretty much every situation and say, okay, let's get married. But the one thing you typically in the traditional sense don't is how they're going to parent. Chris and I were raised very differently.
Okay.
And like we both, you know, came from broken homes, yada yada, like divorces and whatever it might be. But though, like that is one of those situations that you don't get the luxury of kind of getting a glimpse. So where we fight is Chris is like, you gotta stop saying yes, and like you gotta stop saying no,
Yeah, see-
and like that is like with some of
We didn't have that much with the kids. We seem to be.
So yes, and that was something.
the business is what almost
Sure.
killed us.
Sure.
The
Well,
kids didn't.
I'm envious. You'll have to tell me more about that.
The thing was, I think also if my opinion of longevity, okay, in our situation, we had so many other distractions. We had a business and we had kids.
Yeah.
Okay, we really didn't have time to focus on each other.
That's fair.
Okay, it was raising the kid and running the business.
Getting through it.
Exactly, and that was our focus, was raising kids, running the business.
And we had a village.
Okay.
Yeah.
And yes,
Back
we did.
then.
We had a huge
Oh, you're
village.
lucky.
Yeah, we were
I have a
very,
big family.
Yeah, that's
very
huge.
fortunate. Very, very, very fortunate. But it didn't. I mean, so there wasn't a lot of interaction about Pam and David.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
because kids. Once you have kids, that's it. I mean,
that's-
there's no more going
Ruin
on dates.
everything.
There's no more going
listen.
on dates. So there's no more of that and it's a great thing. It's the greatest thing ever.
It truly is. Yeah.
But you focus on your kids. You don't have time to focus on the discrepancies between, So I always thought that was a reason for the longevity.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but that's a really cool point. You
Yeah.
know?
Add to that, though, everybody has different family situations.
Sure.
My grandparents, I lived with them for most of my life.
Wow.
Because my mother, she had me when she was 20.
Oh, that's young.
And
That's
her
hard.
and my dad were together for literally 2 years. And it's so weird how you remember things, but I remember them splitting I was 2 years old.
But that's like one of your core.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like in there.
Yeah, and so my grandparents and my aunt are my most memorable people of who I think about, who really helped influence. And then my mother,
Is this your badass aunt?
Yeah,
Who
it is.
master's PhD badassery
Yeah.
wearing her
That's her.
jewels? Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I love
She
that.
was, and she never had children, but just was always there.
I love
Like
that.
whenever I'm going down, or for my birth of my children, the weddings, vacationing
And just
with us.
just for
being
watching with
there.
I mean,
always she'd watch the kids.
Right.
Took
Yep.
them. I remember she opened my daughter's first bank account
Oh.
with her. Things that I,
Yeah.
what was the guy? What was the clown?
Breezy.
Breezy.
At First Chicago,
at
First
First Chi-
National Bank of Chicago or something.
Yeah.
It was like their little
Wait,
mascot clown.
what year was she born?
86.
Okay, I'm a little older because I'm like, I kind of remember that because I was 9 in
Okay.
86. So I'm like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So those
Oh,
are the things.
wow.
Like she was
that's amazing.
Yeah, it helped. It certainly
remained
helped.
Well, the
that way.
village, I mean, it's funny. My mom's local. She has been so helpful with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
My mother-in-law, I mean, she's a rock star. Love her to pieces. My parents, my dad in Chicago, when they come in, they like sweep in and steal the kids. And Chris and I are like, let's go out.
Yeah.
Let's remember why we
Yeah.
like each other. You know?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But also my friends, I have to say, like
Yeah.
raising
I have
kids,
that too.
which is so huge.
Yeah.
Like my friends are the chosen family, and like it was funny. I was talking to Chef Chris Coombs, who part owner of Bossy, right? And we were kind of saying like it really does take a village, and also
does.
you rid yourself of the toxic people because I don't have time or room. I am done. So I've filtered out some of the kids.
Yeah.
You're popular, girl. I love it.
It's not.
But you know what I mean? Like you filter out some of those people that are not helpful, that are takers, that are whatever it is. And you also want to surround yourself with people, like, as we know, we were kind of getting a little morbid before like, there's just, when they say you don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, you really don't.
Right.
No, you really don't.
And it's scary.
No, it
and so
is.
you want to like, okay, if this is how I'm spending my last day, not really, please don't. No, I'm kidding. Right. Like, if this is, okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I had some chocolate and
Yeah.
macaroni. I'm going to
Yeah.
have my kid. Like,
Yeah.
you want to do it with people who
Yeah.
make you feel good.
You never know when you're going to say that person's name for the last time or see them, but you just don't.
You don't.
And we never will.
No.
And so we go on this, let's enjoy life, let's live life, so blah, 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 blah. Then it gets
busy.
Yes.
We all do it. Inexpensive.
Yes.
And you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like you're going to LA next week,
Yeah.
and like you're going to promote this. My favorite new. I can't wait. My daughter is home. I might steal her and have her come on your show. Let's see what mood she's
Yeah.
in. But so what's
and
in LA?
for family. But
Family.
So our daughter lives out there. I have I have 2 cousins out there. I have
This is
short
kind of
story.
Okay,
And I'm
go
hoping to see
He's
her.
like,
But I have so in that coffee shop that we owned, there are like 2 to 4 people that I'm still in touch with.
no way.
They all found me And so there is a young lady out there who has now her own 2 kids. One just graduated.
She didn't say they worked for.
They worked for us.
Employees.
Yeah.
Young kids.
They were 18.
And they found you? Oh my God.
They looked me up. And
she's really good at that.
I can see
that.
She's mom too.
We're still together. She's not my mama though. We're friends.
It's okay.
There's quite a few people that she's mom,
out there.
second mom to.
Love it.
Yeah. And his best friends is out there, godfather to the kids.
Oh.
So there's a lot of connections.
And we're also taking some vacation time.
We're taking
We're going to Palm Springs for
just
3
to
days.
zen for a minute.
Okay,
Palm
yeah, she's got
Springs.
her spa. I'm going to golf. And,
Oh, that's fantastic.
I just have to unwind.
I understand.
It's been a very tough year.
Yep.
And so I need some downtime.
Can we?
And our daughter and our grandkids are there.
That'll be great. Yeah. Can we talk about a tough year? Like what was tough about this year? You can also tell me go fuck myself.
I would never do that.
I know you.
Well, it's the whole thing. I mean, tough 2 years. I mean, we made when we left Framingham.
Mm-hmm. Their first shop was in Framingham. Yeah.
Correct.
We were there for 10
years. We were there for 10 years, and we needed to downsize, so we moved to Wayland. During the transition period, we were at home making chocolate. Okay, we were making chocolate.
We borrowed a kitchen. We rented a kitchen.
Oh, we did.
Okay.
Yes, we did rent a kitchen. That is absolutely correct.
We don't have a commercial kitchen in the house, so we were using Renee's kitchen.
Oh, Renee's kitchen. Okay, in Natick.
Here in Natick.
Yep. Okay.
We kept a lot of the supplies, at our house.
We'd make stuff for people that were like, we don't care that you close. I need my chocolate.
Yeah.
So I was meeting people in Starbucks. I remember meeting a guy in the Whole Foods parking lot. Because we'd pack up stuff and then we'd have the
where are you going to be here?
Yeah, the kids that work for us now come and help packing or move it, just whatever. And that was a rough one.
So that was hard, and then we opened up, that got going, but it was overall. I mean, you take a look at the successes that we had, especially with Oprah
and GMA. So let's come back to that. Yeah.
So here's the thing with those, and yes, we are, because everyone's like, oh, you're so successful, you're running a successful business. And we are.
Of course, but it's still hard.
It is hard because you have Oprah.
Yes.
It goes for however long, 30, 60, whatever. And then it
it's like the peak and
Yes, it's this. It's peaks and valleys when you own your own business, unless you have a lofty bank account sitting there where you can just pull cash when you need it.
Yep.
GMA, same thing. And all of this is great exposure, and it is really, our brand is out there.
Oh, I know.
And both of these.
You're on Amazon too. That's amazing.
That's because of Oprah. You have to be on to be on Oprah's favorite things.
Oh,
You have to
I did not know
that.
that.
Amazon, that's how she sells all her products.
Right.
It's through Amazon. Yeah. So they got a special
Which
team.
Has its ups and downs, but nonetheless.
They have a special team to focus on the Oprah clientele.
Okay.
And they worked with us to get Amazon ready, and they walked us through the whole process, and
our daughter helped
at
that time.
Yeah, of course.
But
it's a heavy lift.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
And then, it's summer. No one's ordering online.
No.
Well, they are, but a lot of times I'm saying I'm so sorry unless you want to pay overnight, because
it's hot.
It's hot
Yeah.
as hell.
Yeah.
90 degrees.
90 degrees.
People typically don't buy chocolate in the summertime.
So it slows down.
So we need to focus. That's ice cream.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we're working on some things. So this is one of them, seeing where the barbecue box will go. And the other thing.
Well, actually,
talk about
we're looking at each other. But yes, we are currently we're preparing for Encore, the casino, to do their turn down service.
Yeah. Oh my God!
So we're in
the
discussion.
One here and
just here for right now.
Yeah.
But that would be huge. We're going through packaging designs and that kind of stuff.
Oh my God, that would be. I just
now.
booked an overnight yesterday. I'm not even joking.
Really?
Just saying,
at Encore.
Yeah.
Okay, and I've been trying to talk to her. It's like going to the casino.
Been?
No,
we went there to pitch.
What's your middle name?
Ann.
Pamela Ann.
But no, I told her it would be a great evening, to go, and she doesn't gamble. I don't really gamble, but it's such a beautiful place. It would just be fun. You play slot machines.
Yep.
It would be fun.
It is
really,
fun,
really,
and
really
that's
be
a
fun.
beautiful property.
It
and
is.
Their
It's
guest
a
rooms are
gorgeous.
amazing.
Their guest
property.
rooms are like their standard guest room is 645 square feet.
Okay, that's
Like
a big
I'm
room.
taking 3 of my girlfriends. I got a comp night and said, "All right, girls, we did this
Okay.
in 2023."
Okay.
And you know what I want after gambling and a couple of
that?
free cocktails? Chocolate.
Okay.
I want to go to bed.
There you go.
I want the chocolate.
So and
That's really cool.
and that's we're in the design stage, but it looks very promising.
Nice.
And that
But
would be
no, we haven't signed anything.
Right,
yet,
but
so
that would be
I'll say
amazing.
that would be great because it also balances things out because it's not seasonal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, so there'd just be a
They're
stream of
using
it,
that
yeah.
for their turn down service.
Yeah.
So those orders come in, and actually in the summertime is their busiest time.
What about other hotels in Boston? No?
We have some
We've
hotels.
had
We've had some.
but it just doesn't.
They do it for a
I will
while,
tell
but then
you,
it falls off.
I think they want the sky, but they don't have the budget for the sky. And we make everything.
I know
by
you do.
hand,
And you're a
so-
small business. And
Right,
you're like, I
right.
can't give shit away for free.
Correct.
Right.
That's,
I just can't.
That's correct.
And now the cocoa industry has so many challenges.
Our
Climate change, just everything.
our
Yeah.
chocolate prices
Tariffs.
have increased by 2.5
For
times.
what we buy.
For our raw chocolate prices
Oh
have
my- as a
increased
whole-
since we opened up.
That is.
Okay, 2.5. That's 250% increase in raw materials.
But it's just since 2023, it's gone up and more.
Yes. No. I'm saying
That
at this point, that's what it's been over the whole
So it's
13-year
and your
period.
packaging is beautiful. Like not even. I mean, I love that. That's so cute, and it's the red tablecloth. I like love. I get everything.
Oh my God!
It hits.
There's a kid. So we have a tiny staff. Literally, there are 2 wonderful women. Our chocolatier,
Right.
And then we have a part-time high schooler who is just divine. Her brother used to work for us, and now she worked for us, and she graduated though, so she's going.
And her
off to
mom
college.
said, "I don't have anybody else to
I
send
asked
you.
her, "You got no kids?"
I have nobody else to
said,
send
no,
you."
we're all done. I said, I'm so sad about that. But and there is one young man who helps me with all my tech stuff and labels, and he has a big boy job now, so he's not working.
He worked for us for how long? though?
11, almost 12 years.
Oh my God.
And our chocolatier has been with us. It must be 13. He started in 2012.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I remember. I mean, like I walked in and remembered him.
Yes.
I mean, he did. I mean, but you know.
So it's it's like our little family.
Of course.
But,
and do they do the design work?
Well, Justin does.
That's
Justin
the
does.
guy who has
He's-
the big
he's
boy
a-
job. I won't let him go.
Well, but that what I was saying too is like that's a beautiful presentation, but your presentation in general. And then so I got your bark too. I was also
Okay.
curious, what's Oprah all obsessed about? So
Right.
like I got that too. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That did not make it in my house very long.
Okay.
But like you have the cards explaining what everything is.
Right.
Like it's well thought out.
Yeah.
But that's also money.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
good quality
Everything.
ingredients,
Yeah.
materials and everything.
Yeah.
Packaging that box.
It's huge.
That box we had made in China, but it's a very it's a
anymore.
high-end box.
Sorry,
Right.
we won't go there.
No,
We are definitely
no.
not going there. How much time do we have?
Nah,
left?
we don't have enough time.
Yeah, we
My
can't go
camera's
back.
gonna be like, bitch, I give up.
Thank you. We're done. We can't catch
We're
anymore.
done.
Yeah, we'll just get shut off. It'll just stop, and we'll still be going here.
We
Because,
should make a
no.
Cheeto chocolate for our president. Totally kidding. I'm rude.
Oh,
we can totally
yeah.
scratch.
I could dip.
I don't want to do anything for him.
I'm not either.
Anytime people complain recently, within the past couple of weeks, I've heard people, complain about costs of everything.
We do.
And I've said, well, this is because of your president. Okay?
Yeah, he ate mine.
I don't do that.
I do
He
that.
and my chocolatier, and I'm like, you all can't say
Yes,
that.
no. Somebody comes in and complains about a price. It's like, well, this is because of your president.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I,
The price of everything has gone up under this guy.
yeah.
And
And
with
our
small
tariffs haven't
businesses,
even really hit
And
yet.
I was just gonna say, I mean,
I mean,
it's frightening on so many levels. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
also I just finished watching The Handmaid's Tale. Which don't do
I
that
never
now.
watched that.
So good.
Okay.
I
It
get
was so good, but you can't now. You actually can't because it's it hits a little too close to like what
to
the
what
hell is
the
happening
yeah
in real world.
And I hear people. I'm a political junkie, so MSNBC,
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
24/7
I
kind
love
of
it.
thing. But they always refer to The Handmaid's Tale in reference to
Go watch the
things.
first few seasons.
Okay, in reference to
fucking
what's
really?
happening with Trump, JD Vance,
Yep.
and
Really?
yeah.
The first few seasons,
Yeah.
and what's more eerie
Yeah.
personally about the first few seasons is that it's Boston. So like, I'm not giving anything away.
I didn't know that.
So like,
didn't
I
realize that.
believe it's like like Brookline, based on the homes and stuff. I think they got like real shots, but it's Boston, what Boston was before Gilead. And so it's, you see Fenway Park.
Okay.
Like overgrown and not used. Maybe there was a guillotine in there. Then there's, I'm not giving anything away. They have a
but that's
shot.
okay. No, go ahead, because
I will start because I'm not really big.
It's not happy, I'll be honest, but Elizabeth Moss and her co-stars are brilliant. But it is also like, what I found so eerie is that you'd see the old, like what used to say the Mass Pike.
Yes.
The signs taken down.
Okay.
Like, and like in a garage somewhere. And so there's pieces of Boston where you're like, you know, when they say like someone who's walking over your grave and you get the little hairs in the back of your neck, that. So you'll have that. And so, and listen, I just watched the series finale. It's okay. The series itself is wonderful.
Okay.
And so, but
it centers around a male-dominated society, basically.
Yep.
And women are
nothing.
Handmaids.
I was gonna say we're handmaids, milkmaids.
Correct.
Doing happy because there's enough sad shit going on, and so I don't.
Well, tell me good shit because I still don't know exactly how Robin. Oh my god, I almost said Williams. Maybe she can find you.
So another. So our daughter was an actress, and so she did for a while like traveling Broadway tours, and met a group of friends.
Okay.
And this was a long time ago, so they're still now they call me Mama Pam, and so one of them actually does. Not podcast, but her first thing.
It is a podcast.
It was FaceTime stuff before, whatever that was.
Right. Okay, before they called it a podcast.
I don't remember what it was.
I forget the terminology.
Yes.
See, this is my. I don't. Yeah.
That's okay. We all know what we're talking
This
about.
is pre-podcast, but it was the same thing.
They were doing this segment, which is interesting because a lot of shows do them still now. It was something like "It's Never Too Late," right? Because I'm not 30, 40 years old.
I hear that.
Doing a chocolate shop. So anyway, I got on this little FaceTime thing, and it was with Nikki, and she had other, women. They talk about just stuff every day. Yep. And so other people join.
But it's the fact that you were an entrepreneur and a business owner that she reached out to do this to interview. Yeah. Yes, correct.
Which I love it. You're never too late. You don't have to be in your 20s, 30s, whatever, 40s.
And so it was all women. And then all these people were on and they were asking questions. And so at the end of the conversation, it was so much fun. There were lawyers,
professionals.
Yeah, what do you call the things? Vision board people.
Ooh, I love that.
I know. So
I can never do it, but I love it.
I know, me either. We should. But so I'm asked, who do you want to have chocolate or sit down with or whatever? So it was Oprah, it was Gayle King, and Robin Roberts.
Oh my God.
So after the call, we hung up and I'm telling everyone about it, and I get this email from this lady who had called in. She said, I do not know Robin. That was her first thing, but I work for Disney.
Holy shit.
So I'm on the internal email path, and I'm going to send her an email. I loved your story, and I just would love to see if anything will come of it.
Oh my God.
She's like, I have no idea. And I'm like, oh, that's so
don't
sweet.
get your hopes up, but I'm going to pay it forward.
And I was like, that is so nice of you. Thank you so much. Glad you enjoyed it, blah, blah, blah. The next day, an email came from Robin Roberts' assistant producer who had said Robin looked at the email, watched the little segment, and would love to meet you and your husband.
Did you pick your jaw up? I was like, what the?
First I was just like, okay, really?
Yeah,
yeah. She was like, no, seriously. And so then we did a FaceTime, whatever that thing is called, with Robin.
It was just
Robin
a
Roberts, and something like that. And she was eating stuff and oohing and on and loving it. She is so wonderful.
Oh my! You can tell.
She's a genuine.
She's
a genuinely great person.
Right? I can see that. It shows.
So then we did the little FaceTime. We were like so grateful for that and thanked her. And then she goes, "I see GMA in your future."
Holy shit!
Yeah.
Literally, this is how organic it was, and I was just like, "Oh, well, that would be great."
Yeah.
Following week, same producer's like, hey, Robin had a good time. She wants to come and make chocolate. It was crazy.
Yeah. For National Chocolate Day.
Yes.
It was
That's when
national.
it
It was
was aired,
National
so-
Chocolate Day.
Oh, my
In comes Robin
Yeah.
with her entourage, her glam fam, as she calls them, and they literally, like in the store.
That was the Framingham store, right?
It was a Framingham.
They
yeah.
took furniture out.
They
took-
redecorated the whole
took
store
pictures
for the
out of
segment.
hall, put them in, had all the lights. It was
Like,
so
do what
wild.
you need to do.
I was
Right.
just sitting back,
Right.
like, let me know if you need something.
You want some chocolate?
And then
It
she
was a
came
whole crew.
with her whole crew, and we sat there and we did the interview.
Oh my God! I saw you give her an apron.
Yeah.
we
I
made
do remember that's
aprons.
also when you're like,
Uh-huh.
I'm trying to remember.
Yeah.
Oh my!
It
God.
was
Yeah,
it
it's
was
crazy.
so
So
fantastic.
crazy.
So that is how that whole connection started, just through that little conversation, and Nikki wanting me to come on her show.
I love that.
Yeah.
And since then, like, she has us on Instagram. I see her when she likes certain, sometimes likes things. And so then with this Oprah thing,
Yeah.
we did GMA Deals and Steals because we had product left.
Oh, who was it? Jill. I forget. I can't remember the woman that does the deals and steals. I love her. Tori. I was like, Jill, Tori, the 4 letters. I'm like,
Yep.
that's what I knew.
So when we got there, I had a little special box because I'm like, she may be gone. I don't know if she's here. And so the lady was like, she found out you were coming, so she's hanging out, gonna wait around so she can say hi to you and David. And so as we were walking, we'd done the segment, which was just great. And we're walking down the hall, and
Back
she's
to the
sitting
green
in the
room. We were walking back to the green
and
room.
she's sitting in the room talking to someone, and she
And
jumps
I
out.
walked in and tapped her, and big hug, and so where's Pam? And so we went out and found Pam.
She's amazing.
Oh my
Yeah.
God, that is fantastic.
Yeah, she is.
And like, when you need those people to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, you hate hearing that like someone you respected, either like a public figure or somebody,
Yes.
like they look wonderful and they're total jerks
they're-
behind the
yeah,
scene. Like,
yes.
like please don't let that be her.
Right,
No,
not
she
her at all.
is. She is.
And
The
you said
real
that's
deal.
Yeah.
not the way Oprah found you. How to Oprah?
Oh, so Oprah. So we were doing one of our virtual classes,
Right.
And
Which we're gonna circle back to because I would take
Yeah.
a virtual class about chocolate.
So I don't even remember the company, but I'm always asked, right? And it's always Robin or Gail or
Yeah.
Oprah. And so a lady at this company, she's like, I used to work for Hearst Magazine. I'm going to give you the contact.
Oh my God.
And so she gave me the information. And so then I took that and I emailed them and said, hey, we would like to, apply, and got all the information. And of course I haven't never met this lady, but I built an email relationship with her back and forth. And
Oh, I love that.
we sent her the bark, and she fell in love with the bark. Didn't care about those truffles.
And we sent her truffles and bark, because just a variety of things
She was like,
to pitch.
couldn't stop eating this bark, so we got in, obviously.
Oh my God, I love it.
And they did like a couple of influencers.
Yep.
They did sent stuff to podcasters
Oh,
that
that's
they were.
really cool.
So that's how Oprah happened, through a lady who was on one of our virtual classes and said, I have a contact.
Ever know who you're talking
Don't
to?
know.
right.
And I always think about that. I mean, I think about that for 1,000 different reasons.
Yes.
The happy accidents, the timing of
Yeah.
our lives. Like I always say,
Yeah.
my stupid little saying that I always fall back on, it's not everything happens for a reason. It's trust the timing of your life.
Okay,
Oh, I like
interesting.
That, right? That
Interesting.
one
Okay.
hits different, or differently.
I like
it's
that.
right. Like I wasn't ready for whatever was going to be presented to me ahead of time. I wanted my babies sooner, but in retrospect, I'm really glad I had them when I had them.
Yeah.
I mean, through IVF.
You never
it was
know.
a labor
Yeah.
of mixed love.
Oh,
I guess.
yeah.
But
You just.
but yeah, so but I think that's like an interesting thing. Like you did that, like Zoom meetup, on FaceTime, thinking like, sure, this sounds like fun. I'm an entrepreneur, like whatever.
Yeah.
And then look what happened. Like that is some of the stuff where it's like, and the timing, right? You've established your business more. You got some balls too, because you're like, fuck it, I'm gonna email Oprah's people, because what do you
Why
have to lose?
Right.
You know?
You
What
have
can
nothing
they
to lose.
say?
Yeah. Well,
Right.
no, we've
Right.
all heard no.
Like,
That is
okay.
correct.
God, I hear that.
I don't like to hear that a lot,
No.
but still.
I
And I'm
never
not
like
good
to
with
hear
it.
that.
I'm not good with taking it, but I'm like,
No,
what
but
do you mean? But yeah.
exactly. Wait, I'm awesome. What?
Yeah.
But that's, oh my God, I love that. And so the virtual classes, tell me about
Yeah,
those.
so, God, that started through another company too that.
There's another company that we collaborated with. As a matter of fact, it was Carol that introduced us to Dave Goldstein.
Was it?
Yes, that was her connection. Dave Goldstein, who does these team building exercises.
Oh, okay.
So he's got,
Like
detective
you're, like, falling and
games.
shit into, like, what is it?
He does all that.
Okay.
Kind of stuff.
He does detectives and
mystery
solving.
I love that. But
and,
you got to work together to figure it. Okay. I
so
love that.
anyway, one thing he did, he had a chocolate program. Okay, so he reached out to us, okay, to see if we would be interested, to do it. So I'm like, sure. So I put together the program, and said, this is what we're going to do, and this is how we're going to do it. Pitched it to him, and it was a little rocky, her and I first doing it because
was this COVID?
We were.
Well, no, not yet. COVID hadn't hit yet.
It was 2019.
Oh, okay.
Because we were even struggling on just class and how to do this and what to do,
like just because you got to send people stuff, right? Like the virtual,
but
correct, the whole logistics,
the whole thing. And David was like, "Well, we should call it this, and we should do this." Because if you haven't noticed, he tends to be wordy, and I tend not to be. I'm like, got to get right to it, and David's got to go through the whole explanation, come up and all around.
I just like to communicate.
And I'm like, okay,
I just like to communicate.
Pamela, we're the same too. I feel connected to both of you, actually.
Right.
I do. Sometimes I'm like, yeah, let's go.
All right, let's do it.
But I'm also, as a wordy person, David, I totally understand.
But so when we finally got the script or whatever together, and
well, see, a lot of it though had to do. No, see, and we got to back up because a lot of what we used for the classes. We used to have wine and chocolate workshops.
Oh, I did one of those.
Okay.
I did one of those.
And so as part of that workshop was the introduction and explanation of how chocolate is made.
Yes.
And that was kind of the central theme of the classes is how is chocolate from bean to bar.
Yeah.
And I would walk
bean to
people,
bar, that's good, yeah.
Yeah, I would walk the people in the class through this. She did the wine tasting part. I did the education. Education.
Here's my surprise face.
even when we did Girl Scouts, we used to have a Girl Scout program where Girl Scouts would come in and get a badge. But education was always part of these programs that we did in the store. So when this virtual thing came out, education was a big part of it. It's like, okay, let's educate them. Okay, and let them have chocolate, and we got it out. We have to make it
an hour. And it was easy to do. And then we made it. We wanted it to be interactive, so people could. If it was too many, they would do a chat. And
sure.
I'm the one trying to.
Trying to manage the chat. That's always a pain.
But they'd ask questions, and people had a really good time. And then there was the banter.
Oh yeah, between her and I, especially really. Well, she's angry.
You guys
with
should
me,
have your own podcast.
She's angry with me every other day, okay, and sometimes every day. So it just depends on what kind of mood she was in. It's what the class got, and they loved it. I mean, they loved it. They loved it.
We would have a partner.
We would get these comments, and I'd have to laugh. You all are so cute. We haven't been cute in years. Or, oh my God, it was just funny. But I'm like, okay, people, thank you. But
thank you. You're right. We're cute.
But it was wildly successful. Yeah. I mean, it was wildly successful.
Us.
Yeah, during COVID, after COVID.
So that got so you started it. And it's cool that you had the baseline in 2019.
Nothing but freaking virtual class. We were shipping out so many kits.
But that's cool.
But
it saved our business.
I remember the virtual cocktail ones. I was doing those with my friends too.
Yeah.
Because I needed to drink my way through
that. And you know what's funny? And that's what my friends, I think one of my friends called me the connector. I'm such a relationship builder. There was a girl who the company had that they, when we were doing the class, because we were now doing their chocolate tastings, and we were doing our own.
Correct.
I love
that. But the one that they had, she would always be the one to work with us. I still talk to her. As a matter of fact, I hadn't talked to her in a while, and she just called me on this last birthday, and it just blew my mind. And I'm like, oh my God! And we just, we started the text, the instant, and then she called me, and we were on the phone for about an hour. She's in Texas.
Oh, I love that.
And so it's all about the relationships that you build and the people you talk to,
and food brings people together.
Yes.
I mean, let's not forget, people love food.
They do.
They love.
This is different.
I was going to say, and this is different. This is
we can't ship liquor out of Massachusetts.
I learned that the hard way.
Right.
Did you?
We could have done a lot more.
And I just DoorDashed that shit to their house instead, but it didn't feel like it didn't have the same
I'll put some in a box and say it was olive oil.
I should have done that.
Come on.
I was trying to send pre-mixed Negroni to my friend in New York. He works at TLC.
Come on, it's so insane.
And we had so much fun. And I'm like, Eric,
You get
here's
to
all the fun
UPS
shit.
and like, is there alcohol? And I'm like, oh, that's olive oil.
Oh my! I just had a fucking epiphany. Who was that Greek god? How do you say that?
Aristeas.
Yeah, that's what it is. She's in the box.
That's right.
Like, with that, all right, we should wrap things up. I don't want to.
Oh my God.
I really want to have, like, first of all.
Seems like we missed something. Did we miss it?
Is there any, we can check, you know what, and there's no shame, because I can either cut it out
I just want to make sure.
Let's see.
I think we got everything. I think that's it. I think that's the whole story.
I'm like, all right.
We did the box, we did the classes, we did
hour and a half, 3:30. So that was good.
Flavors.
Okay.
Oh, selling chocolate. Oprah featured.
You did great.
You did great. I hear, David, you've always been so comfortable in front of the camera. It's a little natural. But it's funny. Actually.
See, and we didn't even need that.
And see, it's funny. As somebody who likes to write, I also feel like, when they say you write things down, you remember them. Mm-hmm. I wish I knew that in high school. But that doesn't matter. But that's kind of how I feel. And then we talked on the phone, and then I saw you, I brought my
store.
Oh my God.
But this is also a very comfortable environment. That's something
Thank
else.
you. I have to tell you, I worked hard on this.
Okay.
There was a sign hanging behind, but it didn't really show up great on camera. And like I said, this is my first experience videoing too, which is, this is the first time I haven't taken off my shoes, because I end up sitting crisscross applesauce. I'm a fidgeter. I need to.
Okay.
So I'm trying to do it, but I hired Kate Eckstein Design. Kate, here's a nod, babe.
All right.
A local Natick mom, also an entrepreneur.
Yep.
Who helped me conceptualize this. And I wanted it to, I wanted you to feel comfortable as a man.
Yep.
But it still had me with the pink and some of the craziness.
Because at first it was just going to be you and I.
Yeah.
We were just going to do girl talk.
Yeah, we were going to do girl. And I'm like, but your husband, I was like, but your husband's totally welcome. I don't want you to feel left out. You're part of the business too.
Yeah.
And but I also wanted it to be okay, these lamps, I don't even know if they're in the shop, but they're cats. And,
they're cats.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't pay attention.
She Pam does not like cats.
No, but
I still like you. It's cool. She likes my dog. My cats, it's fine.
Yeah.
But thank you. This is something that didn't come out of nowhere. And then she came and actually hung all this for me. And if you know me at all, I don't put shit together. And I put the ottoman together and the end tables and the couch.
Yeah, I don't put stuff together.
Yeah, I don't either. And then she's like, you can do it. I'm like, okay, don't worry. I had someone else check it, so you're not going to fall on your asses.
Okay.
Good.
All right.
But okay, so people are looking for you. So on Instagram, your website, tell them where they can find you, learn more about the virtual tastings, the barbecue box. I mean, whore yourselves out. I'm going to be your pimp right now.
Okay.
Where can people have you?
Okay. So, the website is the Chocolate Therapy Store. It has to be
Okay.
The chocolathetherapystore.com.
Perfect. Okay.
Everything's there. Now, I could use some website work because I
might know a guy
as well. But
I'm married to him.
Oh boy, we'll talk after.
I was gonna say, all I need is chocolate.
Yep, year round for your lifetime chocolate person. But yeah, so I just was making updates, and I will sit there and all of a sudden I'm like, oh my God, I didn't put the summer thing or this on, and I gotta go.
This is the worst. I just want to focus on the
chocolate. And I gotta take the pictures for it.
Girl, that's hard.
So yeah, you can find almost everything is on there at the Chocolate
it.
Therapy Store, and
are the links to GMA and Oprah and stuff on your site too?
Yeah, we have those
it's
videos
mentions on there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Don't they have links to the videos for that?
I don't know about all that.
Okay.
The one for GMA might. I don't. Oprah is no link. It's just. I think it's still there, but now we need to make the barbecue box. It needs to be easier to change, and that's the thing. It's not.
There's a link to take you to order the box.
I'm not sure.
Okay.
Have you been on the website lately?
No, I have not.
Okay.
Who knew this was going to be a can of worms?
Everything is a can of worms. Everything, but I don't know it. There was, but I know we had to change it, but it still might.
Okay.
But that link is old now, and it does need to be updated.
That's okay.
But everything is there.
Perfect. And then your Instagram too. What's your
handle.
Instagram?
Instagram is reversed because chocolate therapy wasn't available, so Instagram is therapy chocolate.
Ooh, I mean, it works either way.
Either way, it's therapy chocolate. Yeah, we're on which I don't really even like. Well, Facebook I love. It's just, chocolate therapy. But the whole Twitter X thing, that's Sweet Remedies, as a matter of fact.
X is dead to me.
whatever. It's I
I don't do X.
I just some
Twitter.
people do it. Yeah,
I know.
But if
you know
you
what?
do,
they're probably
it's-
not my people who are.
it's CT Sweet Remedies if you're
Okay.
on there. And then
But go to
phone
Threads
numbers.
instead because it's so much better.
I don't know the Threads thing. That
Threads is you can actually link your Instagram, so every
it is
time you
linked. It's
Okay.
linked automatically,
so you're on
which
it.
is bizarre.
Yeah, you're
and
on
we're
it.
linked to the Facebook. So when I do a post,
Goes everywhere.
it's all there.
That's awesome.
We had our friend do a post. I don't know if you saw it recently.
With the
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my God, he was so great.
I
and
loved
funny.
it.
I
That
loved
video was amazing.
He
Yeah.
is amazing.
Like seriously.
And he's one of those. He went to college with our daughter, but he is an amazing human being. Yeah.
Well, you guys, thank you so much for I seriously next time we're doing this at night with Ubers.
Yes. Yes.
And then we can edit shit out we don't want.
Yes.
We can always edit. But,
And
but
we
no, I
can,
really I'm so impressed with you. I've been impressed with you guys since I met you.
Thank you.
And your products are amazing. Go to Chocolate
you.
Therapy. Wait, the Chocolate
The
Therapy
Or come
Store.com.
visit us. We're in Wayland.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
63 Andrew Avenue in
Yes.
the Wayland Town Center.
they have a storefront if
have
you're
a
in the
little
Boston
storefront.
area. If
Yep.
you're not, order the shit up. But maybe not
That's
in the
right.
summer. Just wait. Well, I mean, order whenever you want.
Yeah, whenever.
But
If
you're
you
going to
want,
pay for good shipping.
Yes, so it won't be melted when you get it at home. Yeah.
Well, and you can find me at pourmeastory.com. Actually, you know what? I don't fucking know. You know what? This is the word. This
I
is my
love
problem,
that,
you guys. This is where I suck at whoring myself out.
It's okay.
See, before you, okay, here it is.
Let's
See, and
see.
I'm like, all
Let me
right,
hear
take
it.
2. Sorry, Dave. You can find me at pourmeastory.com. Pourmeastory.podcast. That's what I was thinking of on Instagram. Pour Me a Story podcast on Facebook. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, review, follow, go buy chocolate.
We have to
have
do that.
Negronis. Oh, maybe the next time they're on, their chocolatier will design a Negroni.
That might be the next
truffle
segment.
just
Or
for moi.
we
That
can
may
do
be-
a segment on pairing. Chocolate and wine, and chocolate and Negronis, and chocolate.
There's
and,
nothing that doesn't go with chocolate. Chocolate
Right.
goes with chocolate.
Right.
Right.
Like that's my
Yep.
yes. Well, thank you, you guys. Seriously, thank you. And then you know
Okay.
what we're gonna go do? We're gonna take this box because I hear my daughter's home, and we're
Okay,
gonna go prove
cool.
her wrong.
Okay.
Let's do it. Let's
All right.
do it.
I hope
Okay.
she likes
Thank
it.
you. I'm gonna give you a hug. Oh my God. Sorry, my armpits are sweaty.